Very good evening, sir. Thank you so much for giving us your time and coming here.
Yeah.
So, my first question is: the pandemic has changed the course of many lives and businesses. So, how the pandemic has affected you, your business, professionally and personally?
Okay. For us, actually, the pandemic has been good. Okay. I actually shifted to Bangalore last month, the last year when the pandemic, it's like literally on 12th of March, we shifted to Bangalore. And from 24th, there was a lockdown. So me and my co-founder were like here, we shifted to build the product. And literally for next 3 months, we literally just focused on building the product, nothing else. So for us, it was initially it was productive, but the second wave was really like a scary thing. So the first week, first lockdowns, we easily handled it. We built the product at that time. But during the second wave, it was horrible, like literal. Like everyone in my family got like sick. My co-founder's family got sick, and like our customers, our sellers, like it was mayhem. So it was a mixed thing. But first wave, it was good. We got a time, like we got to build thing. But second wave, it was horrible. So right.
You are in Bangalore, right?
Yeah, I mean, like,
Even I'm doing my master's from Bangalore.
cool. Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
So, could you please tell us about your childhood? Like was being an entrepreneur was your aim always?
Uh, I don't know. Actually, I like to build things. Okay, from my childhood, I'm just good at building things. If I get a new idea, I'm going to get it done. Okay, I will like do whatever it takes to build it. Being an entrepreneur is a different thing. Okay, being a builder is a different thing. Being a entrepreneur is a different thing because like being a builder, you think about just building the product, but
Yeah.
when you are thinking about being an entrepreneur, you have to think about the other aspect like the value creation, capturing of value, and other aspect. So yeah, now I'm shifting to the like being an entrepreneur mode, but until now, like before this, like I was a creator mode. So like from my childhood, like I'm just good at creating things. So, like I built a NGO like when I was in school, okay, 11th grade. I ran a free classes for 40 plus students in my village, and like I used to play professional cricket. I used to organize tournaments in my village. Like I've done many crazy things. So like school days.
So, where is your village actually based in?
Okay, I am actually from a village in UP called Jalal. Like it's in district Pratapgarh. It's named Jalalpur. So it's like actually it's really backward area, but what we can do.
That's fine only. That's fine. Okay. So, from childhood, you have always been a creative person, like who loves to
Yeah,
do something for society.
yeah. Uh, I have been a curious person. I don't know about creative. Uh, Study like for me like when I'm like the way I think I see the word is like I see everything is created. Okay, whether like you're using Zoom, somebody created Zoom. Okay,
Yeah.
we are wearing things like we are wearing clothes. Somebody made them. Somebody made the fabric. Somebody built the internet. So I'm just curious like how they build it and what we can build, like what I can build. So that's my mentality here.
I am learning things from you now because we learn everything, something from everyone. So you are
Yeah,
making me to be learn, something that I can.
I yeah. So look, everything in like you see in the world, like from light bulb, from electricity, like printer, screens, everything is built by this laptop. Okay. This is built
Yeah.
by somebody. No, why can't we build something like this? Like that's my mentality. Like build something of my own. So
Okay, so what inspired you to develop your idea? Like you run your own entrepreneur. So what inspired you the most?
actually, in college, so I moved from my village to college directly in Mumbai. Okay, so I used to study at KJ Somaya, and I was from like Pratapgarh. Okay, so I was not fit for Mumbai life. Okay. It's like completely different world. Like
Yeah.
I was not that frank. I was not that good in English at first. Like was not even good at reading in English and all. But I moved to like Mumbai, and I used to make stuff for extra money. Okay, so in my college there was a fair. It's called Fun Fair. And we have to set up a stall. So I decided to set up a stall for like posters, books, diaries, and etc. So there, like we made around 4,400 rupees in a day in like a single day sale. But after the fun fair was ended, I was left with some posters that I created. Okay, so like these are wall posters,
Yeah.
inspiration posters. So I tried to sell it on like Amazon and Flipkart, okay, because that was the obvious thing, like sell it on e-commerce. But I was not able to sell it. Okay, so then I thought, okay, no problem. I will try to sell it like on WhatsApp and all. But again, after like few months, my uncle who wrote a book called Practical Guide to GST, he asked me to sell that book on Amazon. Okay, and this time because I have proper like GST thing and like all the legal stuff, so I tried again. I tried to create the online shop on Amazon. But again, I failed. Okay, because the book didn't have the ISBN number. Okay, this like there is like international standard of numbers that
Yeah.
every book should have. But since the book was locally published, it didn't have that number. So Amazon didn't list it, and we were not able to sell it. And this time I got frustrated. Okay, I said like if I can't sell stuff on online, then how can a like local kirana store can sell it? Like, how can a
Yeah.
small businesses can sell stuff? So that's how we got the idea, like how we can make the online selling part as easy as creating a YouTube video. For example, on YouTube, you create a channel, you just upload a video.
Yeah.
Similarly, with ByBuy, our idea was to like enable anyone to create a store, then they can list the products and anyone can buy the products. So the customer and seller is connected, and like it's very easy to sell online. So now actually we have around like we build the app, we launched it, we have around 5,000 users right now. So it's going good.
Including me. Even I'm using the same app.
Cool, thanks.
So there would have been a journey full of ups and downs. Behind all your success, could you tell us something about your journey?
I don't know about success up to this point, like, but yeah. So when you start up, okay, it's like there is no consistent, like it's not a like straight path. Okay, it's like round and round. Sometimes you go back, sometimes you go ahead. For me, it's like okay. When I started, I know nothing about building things. Okay, I was not from technical background. I don't know anything about building a app. Okay, I didn't know anything about a startup. I didn't know anything about funding. I didn't know anything about like how to build team, and like I was not good at people. Like I'm introvert. Okay, I am not very good at people skills. Okay,
Yeah.
so when I started, like everything was a challenge. So initially, just I started with a sketch of the idea, like YouTube of e-commerce. Then from there on, I have to go with like we developed MVP. We tested the MVP. We got our like few users, early users. Then build the complete app,
Yeah.
raise some funds. Like everything was like a different level of challenge. Like even now, uh, it's a different level. Like uh, even now we are facing a challenge of like product market fit. Okay, is our product something that user can't live without it? Okay, how we can make it, how we can improve it? It's not a very good product right now. Okay, to be honest, we are trying to improve it. So for me, it's like uh, it's a continuous journey, continuous improvement. Okay, there is no final thing. You
Yeah.
can't like in technical stuff, like you can't build a final thing. You can't build a perfect thing. It's always improving.
Yeah. Who has been your constant support and pillar during all this time?
Obviously friends and family, and then my co-founder. So initially Sanjay Uncle, like who wrote the book, and like he has been like our early investor as well. My mom, my sister, brother, like my teammates from my NGO days, my co-founder. Like without this person, like I can't do anything. Like literally, they are my support system. So
So, is there anyone who you look up as an inspiration? Okay, you want to do like this
yeah,
person.
actually, my inspiration is not from the startup field. My inspiration is like Abdul Kalam. Okay, so from my child, like actually the reason I started up maybe influenced by the APJ Abdul Kalam. Okay, so he wrote this book. It's a Q&A book, Q&A kind of book. Uh, I don't remember. Just a second, I will let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So uh, this was a book like आपका भविष्य आपके हाथ में, like so this was written in Hindi. I actually remember buying it from my train stop. So like in Pratapgarh, only way you can buy these books was like you can go to train station and there they have these stalls. So I
Yeah,
bought this book. I literally remember in this book there was a sentence like from like youths now want to be a job creator instead of job seekers,
yeah.
and that line literally like uh,
Hit
I
me.
said I wanted, yeah. For
So,
me,
yeah.
other than APJ Kalam, I like Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Square and Twitter. Okay. I really like him, and like then obviously Steve Jobs and everyone. So
So, what are the challenges that you faced in the beginning of your journey, and how did you overcome the challenges?
everything is a challenge for us. Like okay, so initially, uh, so let me divide it into three parts. Okay, the first one is the building of the product. The
Yeah,
second one is getting funds to build it, and the third one is like scaling up part. Okay,
yeah,
first one, the building of the product. First, you start with a team. Okay, and uh, from a non-tech background, I have to do a lot. I literally reach out to hundreds of people, like just join us as a co-founder. You have to convince them like this is something big. Okay, yeah, nobody else will work. My co-founder is actually 10 years older than me, and like he is like literally like SG3 in Walmart. Okay. So he's much more experienced than me. Convincing him was like really hard part. After that, building a product. Building a product is not just like you get an idea like and just go and build it. It's a process. Okay, you need
yeah,
to understand like how to do wireframes, how to do screens. You have to just first sketch out the screens. You have to create a PRD, product requirement documents, and everything. Then you go on building it. I
yeah,
didn't do anything. Okay. I straight out I went to build it, and literally it cost us 6 months because of that mistake. Because I didn't know how to build the product.
yeah,
Now I know, but cost us 6 months. But after that, like after you build a product, so you realize that startup is not about product at all. Okay. Startup is about how you are going to get your product to the customers. And I didn't know that at the time. I thought like just product बना देंगे customer आएगा. That doesn't happen. Okay. So you have to think about it as well. Like what, like after you build the product, what happens? Like how you are going to reach the customers, how you are going to scale it. Is this something VC will invest in? Uh, you have to like for me it was like I made every mistake possible in the book. Okay, like literally people will say don't make this mistake, don't make this mistake. I have made all the mistakes. Even now I'm making mistakes, but I don't care. Like I just move on. Like I
that's
like
how we learn. That's how we learn to grow.
I have this quote like experience is what you get when you don't get what you want. So like this is fun.
So, the challenges you overcome is by learning your own mistake, by learning from your own mistakes.
Yeah, I have always been like self learner. Even in school days, I don't used to make like notes from the like teachers. Like they used to say like do the question answer. I didn't do that at any time. I just tried to make my own notes. I even do right now. Like I make mistake, I learn from it, and like I move on. So for
Yeah.
me, starting up is about learning. Okay, I learn a lot of it.
So, what sets you apart from other entrepreneurs, and any quality that you describe yourself that can set you and your company apart?
Curious, relentless, resourceful, and underdog. So like these are four words. Like uh, I'm always curious. Okay,
Uh,
as I told you, like I see like when I see a logo, I see about like what this company does. I'm really curious about this stuff. Okay, like for example, like how Zoom works, how internet works, how like, everything how it works. Okay, then I'm relentless. Like when I once I decide that I want to do this, I will do it no matter what. Like I might miss my timeline. I might miss like I might make every mistake possible, but I will reach my goal. That's like I have done it in the past, and like when once I decide like I want to do this, I will do it. Then resourceful. So when you don't have resource, you have to be a resourceful person. Okay. So I don't have any resource. I don't come from a wealthy family. So I just try to figure out like how to get the resource to make it. And underdog, like so I come from a village. Okay. So I always have consistently like I feel like underdog. So I feel it like it's a good thing for me.
So, how does what sets you apart from other entrepreneurs?
Look, it's not about being apart. Okay, everyone has a single thing. Every single
Yeah.
entrepreneur you will see, they have a same kind of thing. We just have to do this stuff. Okay, there are some people who will say that they get ideas. Okay? They won't do anything. uh, I'm not that person. I once I said that I'm going to do this, I will do this, like whatever it takes.
Well, that's very inspiring, actually. So, has social media helped you in?
I'm
Uh,
horrible at social media. Okay,
Sorry,
literally, I'm horrible at social media. I am not on Instagram as of yet.
but your
I
page
actually,
is.
yeah, I know that. I like being an introverted person. Like I don't like, I'm not very public and all everything. I just like to keep it quiet and do stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, social media is like really important now. We are trying to understand it. Like we are trying to learn like, how to like, use social media rightly for our business and like personally as well. So I'm trying to communicate on Twitter and LinkedIn right now, and trying to build a brand there. But yeah, definitely I'm trying to learn social media. I'm not good at it right now.
So, does
I'm
it,
horrible.
for now, does it help you to reach? Does social media help your business to have a better reach?
Obviously social media is like kind of like uh, how newspaper was in initial days. Okay,
Yeah.
you can't be a business without social media right presence right now. But like what happens is when you're a startup, okay, there are resource constraint. Okay, so as a founder you can do so many things. Okay, you can't do like social media, you can't do legal, finance, product marketing, sales and everything. So I'm just like I'm bad at it right now, but definitely social media is really important for a business. And honestly, we are trying to like hire people for that team right now.
Yeah. So, would you like to tell us something about your plans ahead? Like, what is your future plans?
Now, currently we are working on a new product that will be disrupting how we are using calculators right now, and
Yeah.
it will help small and medium-sized businesses record their finance data and like get analytics like how their business is doing in real time. Further, like our vision is like in future all the stores will be online. Okay, so like all the kirana stores, fashion shops, every single store in the world will be omni-channel. Okay, so they will be selling online plus offline, and our vision as a company is to build tools to enable that.
Yeah.
We are going to build tech tools that help small businesses sell and survive.
Okay. So, this was my last question to you. That I
Yeah,
have.
we can
Sorry.
keep it informal. If you want to ask anything else, like you can ask me.
So,
It's not like your formal.
no, it's not like I have prepared some questions. Wait, let me check.
Yeah, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Uh,
Go ahead. Whatever question in your mind, just ask. Like, don't
yeah.
worry. Like, no question is a bad question.
No, I was just asking you, how do you made your social media posts? Like, what softwares you? Sorry, it's just too bright. So, what softwares you use while making your posts, the social media posts?
Okay, Canva. Obviously, Canva.
So, don't you use Photoshop, or you don't have any designer to for
No, no,
making?
no. As of this point, we don't have any designers, so we use Canva as much as we can. But right now, I'm trying to like hire an intern for this purpose,
Try
graphic designer.
Photoshop as well. Photoshop is much more easier.
Yeah, Photoshop. Canva has much more elements, like and like it's much easier. Like I understand like how to use Canva, but yeah,
Yeah.
Photoshop I will try next.
So, uh, like, what is your social media plan? Like, how do you plan your posts on social media?
So honestly, we don't have a social media plan right now. Okay, our main acquisition channel for the seller is like app store optimization. Okay,
Yeah.
so when a seller goes to app store, they search for the online selling part. We try to be the first one there. But now we are trying to be more active on social media, and initially we are focusing on like Twitter and sorry, Facebook and Instagram for the seller side, like for getting the sellers on our platform. And we are trying to build a social media calendar, okay,
Yeah.
and then post it accordingly. But right now there is no plan as well.
No, as of like, when I do social media marketing, I plan for a week. Like, okay, this day I want to post something related to my business, and something related to festival. Like, you last post was of your Diwali post, right? So,
Yeah,
do you plan accordingly, or just randomly what comes in your mind?
yeah. Actually, I do randomly. Like up to this point, I have done randomly, but I'm trying to improve it right
Yeah. So, like, what are the plans of improvising your business and sales, like, to increase your, to make your brand to the top? How do you
now.
What are the
Yeah.
plans you are thinking about?
Currently we are revamping our brand at like completely from the logos, from the like how our social media posts will look, what's the color scheme we are going to use. So we are currently working with a person on the brand experience scheme, okay, how you are going to interact with the ByBuy brand. And then we will be hiring a social media intern to properly be active on all the social media platforms. And for the sales thing is okay, so understand, like for us the customer acquisition is like via app store, okay. So app
Yeah.
store is a very major channel for us, so we're going to double down on that thing plus run ads. So we are generating some revenue right now, so we can like afford to run some ads.
So through the Facebook and the social media ads that you run, so through that you're generating revenue, or is just a website ad that goes on?
No, so we generate revenue mostly by white labeling and providing services. Okay. So let's say you want a custom app for your store. We will provide you a custom app for like 3 to 5 lakh rupees. Okay. So we use our own software, like we just change our admin and change the color, logo and everything. We will provide you a custom app. That's our major revenue source. Then we charge the sellers like on per sale basis or per month basis. So these two are our revenue sources right now.
So, do you try, like, you must have some competitors in the market, right? Like,
Yeah, obviously.
you want to go, you have some competitors and you want to do the best so that you can go ahead from that particular competitor. So, how do you do that? How do you make yourself better? Do you try to, make changes in their services that they provide, or it's just that you do something uniquely so that you can go ahead?
Okay, so I made this mistake initially. I underestimated our competition. Okay, we have a lot of competition from Dukan, Bikai, and like other e-commerce enablers, Shopify as well. But right now, what we're trying to do is like in India, there are two models: do it yourself and do it for me. Okay, these stores are like Dukan, Bikai, and everyone else are trying to do it yourself model. Okay, they will provide you the software, then you have to do everything else. What we are trying to do is like do it for me, like when we onboard the seller, we will try to help them by like taking away all the work of creating the store. Okay, they will just have to focus on their business and we will manage all the every technical aspect. So that's one thing we are focusing on right now. Okay, and also like in terms of product differentiation, for example, the new thing which we are working on is an IP driven innovation. So we have a patent on it. Similarly, we're trying to create new features that can differentiate us in the market. Like for example, video commerce is something they are very interested in. So we're trying to be like, we will enable the sellers to post a 10-second video of their products. And like the main problem in like e-commerce enabling state is space in India right now is like, as a customer, you don't buy from an independent website. Have you ever buy from an independent website that you didn't know? I'm asking you this question. You are mute. You are mute.
Sorry. So I have buy from the independent, like from Amazon. I have buy a lot of stuff, but not as such.
Yeah. So Amazon is a trusted brand. Okay. Amazon is a very big brand. Like they
Yeah.
have literally billions of dollars in revenue. When like as a customer, we interact with a small website. Okay. whether we see an ad on Facebook, whether we see like the post, we don't buy from them because there is no trust.
Yeah.
Okay, as a company, we are trying to figure out how to build trust by association for these small stores. Okay, because without trust, the customer won't place the order, and without the orders, the seller won't be online.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a circle. So as a company, we are trying to figure it out. The same problem is, it's an industry problem. Okay, even in Shopify case or Dukan and Bikai, everyone faces the same problem. The customers don't buy from independent shop in India.
Yeah, that's the major issue. Like gaining trust is actually a difficult process to grow and to gain.
Without trust, you can't build a business. Okay, business is all about trust. For example, white labeling or core business
Yeah.
is completely run on trust. Okay, I'm not on active on like social media. Still, we get users. Okay, so like it's all about trust. Okay, uh, but yeah, definitely we need to improve a lot in terms of product, company, and
So, what steps has been taken by you in the past, or will be taken will you be taking in the future to gain that much of trust from the users?
we can't give you the specifics because that will like literally open our like
Yeah.
what we are trying to build right now.
No, no, but the
But yeah,
general, the general
yeah.
thing that everyone knows.
The first thing is like building a proper consistent brand. Okay, that whenever a seller is trying to create a store, they should think like they can create a store on ByBuy seller app. That is one thing we are working on right now. Then second thing is like we're trying to figure it out like how to get the sellers more order. Okay, what we can do to enable the sellers get more
Yeah.
success on our platform. For that, we are figuring out like how to build trust by association. Okay, trust by association means like for example on Amazon, when you go and you order from a prime seller. Okay,
Yeah.
trust that you will get a delivery in next day. You have this thing like in your mind like this is a prime seller, this will deliver in next day.
Yeah.
So what we are trying to do is like how to build that thing. Okay, how to build that trust in the consumer's mind that if this seller is a like, let's say buy by prime seller, this will deliver us the product within next 7 days. Okay, or the product quality will be good, like I can trust this seller. So we are building functionalities for that thing, like for example rating and reviews, videos, like doing different multiple experiment on that thing.
Okay. So, have you like since ByBuy is a growing, actually growing business, so have you ever thought of restructuring it, or have you restructured it from the beginning you've started till now, till date? Have you restructured the complete website or the software, or you're
Multiple
thinking to restructure, and how, what elements you'll be adding to that, and what elements you've added?
Okay, yeah. So initially we started as a hyper-local platform, okay, where you can buy and sell from our local stores. Okay, like let's say you have a Kirana store nearby you, and they will be selling on ByBuy consumer app. As a customer, you can place order to the store directly, and the store will deliver it. Then we moved to like enabling the store to share their web links to help them create their websites.
Yeah.
Okay, now we are moving towards like instead of do it yourself, to do it for you model. Okay, further like the new products which we are working on right now is a hardware product. Okay, it's a proper uh, like hardware thing. Okay, so that is a completely different thing. So yeah, we are pivoting a lot of times. So like it's all about finding a product market fit. Okay, until that we will try to experiment and iterate on like whatever we are doing.
I mean, okay, this was my last. This is my last question. Has your customer acquisition growth decreased due to the pandemic, or it has increased, or it was stable as before?
No. Actually, due to pandemic, the stores digitalized a lot. Okay, they try to use WhatsApp. They try to create their online stores. So like due to pandemic, there is a push towards digitalization for SMBs. Okay, so yeah, for us, like the number of customers have increased a lot due to pandemic. But all in all, there are some like major issues. Like for SMBs to go digital, they need to learn few things. Right now, they are not like that professional, so we are trying to help them out.
Okay. So
And
basically, it has been stable. The customer acquisition has been a stable thing while these years, or it has
no, no, no.
increased.
we are actually launched just last January of this year only. Okay,
Okay.
like last year we have done some experiment, but majorly we are launched in January this year. So up to this point, we have got around 5K users. Okay, so it has been increasing for us. It's not like a steady thing; it's growing.
So
In India,
that's
there are like around 30 million stores. Okay, there are
yeah,
30 million SMBs,
yeah.
and it's a less number. Okay, so if you add everything, there will be around 50 million plus SMBs. And right now, currently, less than 2 to 3% of them are online. They don't have any online presence. Like most of the stores in your neighborhood or as well, they won't have any presence online. So it's a huge market, and like we're trying to build the products.
So
And
it is,
just
yeah. Sorry, continue.
you go ahead. Go ahead.
No,
Go
I
ahead.
was just adding a sentence that it's a positive part that within a short span of time you have increased your customer acquisition and also the website traffic as well.
Yeah. Yep. So I will just like to add one thing like as a like Janhit mein Jari type of thing for a early stage founder. That is like read 3 books. Okay. The first one before starting up, you should read this book called The Mom Test. I actually made this mistake and I haven't read up to this point. Right now I'm reading it. It's an awesome book. Okay. It will tell you that customers lie all the time. So you have to prepare for it. Like you should don't like you you understand like how to ask good question from the customers. The second book you should read is Traction. Okay, Traction is a book about like how to get customers, like what are the channels, what like how
Yeah.
to do SEO and everything. The third book is Purple Cow. Purple Cow is about building a remarkable business, like remarkable product. Because if you don't build remarkable product, nobody will notice you and nobody will care about you. So read these 3 books, like it's like Janhit mein Jari type of thing. Because like if somebody has told me like early stages of my career, like when I started up, I think I would have saved around like less than like a year or something. So it's really important.
Thank you. Actually, I am really fond of books. So thank you for suggesting me these three books. I'll definitely add to the list and start reading to it.
Yeah, definitely you should read it. And like there are like I treat book as a mentor. Okay, initially I didn't have any mentor. Like nobody in like my family and everyone like has run a startup or something. So I treat books as a mentor. So like for every stage of life, we find out a big book that can like fit in it and mm, like it helps me a lot.
Thank you for
Yeah.
answering one more question for me. Like I was about to ask who is a mentor, and you or without asking me answered it.
Yeah. So books they are like really good thing. Like you can like I read almost 1.5 book per month, like on average like a year like 15 plus books. So like uh, they are like literally awesome because like with books you can read literally everything. Like for example, I have read Sam Walton's Made in America, Jeff Bezos, you should read also Shoe Dog by Nike's founder. It's
I
an
read
awesome
it.
book.
I am reading it. I am.
Yeah,
It's middle.
yeah,
And I completed in the middle part. Just a half it.
yeah.
I'm
You have read this quote now, like the cowards never start. Like we,
yes.
I, yeah. So that's my favorite quote. Actually, I literally written it down on my diary first. Like,
It's fine. Even I do most of the time. Even actually,
yeah,
I do most of the time. Okay, I do most of the time.
oh,
Happens.
you should have a like proper organized diary as well for journaling.
Yeah, even I am from journalism background. I keep so much stuff with me just to keep the small notes.
Awesome.